Okay, so this is my reply to your initial post. So what I'm gathering from the fledgling is that it's actually a couple of things. So I know you put the YA element at the bottom of your post. Is that it has a first-person narrative that, in fact, she was only a child in the society, trying to figure out who she really was and what the focal purpose of life would be. So that's kind of like where I'm kind of torn, because it's weird, because for me it's like the story blurs the line of like YA versus like just adult um, things of that nature, only because that how they wrote it, being that in their society she would be a child, but technically she's like 53 years old. Um, I mean, there's not an issue. It's not a problem. I just think that with that being like the things we've learned about YA elements, that blurs the line of like why it would be considered YA, considering all the things she's going through. I mean, not really being a kid, but being a kid. You know what I mean? Um, Other than that, I think that you've explained the character development as from A to Z, her being. All right, sorry for that. I had to go check something that was outside. My dogs are barking and stuff. Other than that, so another thing I'm wondering is that in the community that she's in after she awakes, do the people in that community ever realize that she's not really per se, I guess in that universe, normal, I guess, or do they realize that she may be one of the genetically engineered hybrids, or is it something that's just left to they're not really concerned about it because she still kind of has to do the same thing they have to do? It's just hers is a little bit more intense, where she needs more, more people to feed on, and of that nature. So that was a question I had. Also, with your own writing, I wonder as far as the story, does it help you slightly understand that the characters can be uh, a play on different ages and different expectations of characters in your own writing that you noticed after reading the fledgling. So, like, for example, like, could you make would it help you to understand like that when you're thinking of like a leader of a group, you're not in your mind, you're thinking of maybe slightly older person, or maybe somebody 30, 40, 50, 60 years old leading a group. Could that also be something you could play with as far as I mean, and like I said, I don't know what your story is going to be for the final project or long term goals as far as novels you want to write, but with that, is that something that you gathered as far as helping you, like the YA kind of mix that you could put in there, as far as it being a younger protagonist, but having um, I would say more years of experience or something like that in your own writing. Um, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on, and I don't see the notes I had about it. Either way, if I find it, I will definitely put another response back in here, and maybe shoot you an email to let you know that I responded again to it. Other than that, that's everything I had to say.